Meet me at the top.
I thought that looked pretty cool.
Hello everybody, welcome back to CJfarmGrit. There's a lot of cool things going on in today's video that we think you guys will enjoy, so hope you enjoy.
Okay, so today my brother and I are spreading fertilizer in the conventional grates. We're just borrowing these, they're not ours. But the last time that we usually don't do fertilizer, like this kind of fertilizer, it's been about like 12 to 15 years since we have done this, and it's good to give it some little food once in a while. Yeah. This is what we usually do. Cover crop, we use that as like our fertilizer. But this year we're putting some extra stuff on. But this is like what we would call the alley of the grape row, and then this is like technically the vine row. So the fertilizer is just getting spread in this vine row. But yeah, that's what we're doing today.
In the last video I was driving the old Super Steer, rotivating, and it was overheating like it usually does. And I asked you guys his opinion about why you think it's overheating. We read them all. We appreciate all the comments, taking your time to help us. But a lot of this comments we already tried, or the dealership has already tried. I'm sure we haven't tried everything, because that would just be expensive for an old tractor that has 7,000 hours on it. In the last 3 years, 2 years, 10 months, our parents have put like $16,000 into it, because that was our main, before these two new tractors, that was our main do-it-all tractor. That was the best tractor we had. It would run like all the time, compost tea in the morning from like 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. Then right after that, the mower would get hooked right back up to it, and it would be mowing. So that was the only tractor we used, and that tractor has overheated ever since. I think our parents bought it a long time ago, and a lot of you did comment and give us some advice, and we greatly appreciate it.
Okay, so the vines that you guys saw us planting in our last video, this week we were still planting some vines. So those were cuttings that we took last year. We took about 4,000 cuttings, and this year we were able to get about half of them in. So we got about 2,000 of them planted. It's been really hot. It's been heating up very quickly, and so it cannot be too hot when we dig up the grape plantings to plant them. Otherwise they start wilting, which is what happened. So I'll show you. We had 4,000 of these that we needed to plant. Some of them were planted where you guys saw it in the last video, and then some of them were planted on this other parcel right here. And so we had to get some of our seasonal workers to come help us plant these vines here. And when they were getting planted, they were already like wilting, and you can still kind of see the wilt. So if you see how they're kind of wilted. With that, Dad has had this water on for like, he's shutting it off tomorrow, and that will have been on for like 3 days. He's had this water on so that the water can get way down and deep into the roots, so that hopefully these will all make it, because they were quite wilted, and they still are. So it was like in the 80s, I think it was today, and so it's just too hot. It's best to uproot these plantings before they start budding. Well, they already have leaves now. So the rest of those 2,000 cuttings we are waiting to plant next year, which is fine because this year we didn't take any cuttings for next year, so we're just going to use the ones that we took last year instead of using them this year. Use them next year, if that made sense. Dad said that they would not be like this if, you know, like you got like a flower pot at the store or something, it's already in the soil and you plant it, that's fine. But since these are not like that, we can't do that, and these need to be done before it's as hot as it is.
But I'm on cover crop now. I'm in the Beast. It is vet rye, but it's like 6 feet tall. It's about the same height as a trellis. And we plant it because it'll give off its natural fertilizer. So it'll give off nitrogen down in the soil. So if you pull up one of the plants and you look at the roots, there will be little balls of nitrogen on the roots. So that's why we do it. We plant it, we let it grow, and then so we have to mow it in like a time frame, because if you do it too early, then there's not going to be as much nitrogen, and if you do it too late, then the plant starts taking that nitrogen. So we have to mow it about right now when the heads start to come out, and that's when we want to mow it. Preferably we'd mow it a little bit sooner than this right now, but we were busy planting vines, and so we couldn't. I love mowing cover crop. It is satisfying. You run over all this tall stuff.
So we were getting some comments on our last video. A lot of people wanted to know what we were spraying for fire blight in our apples. So we spray organic Prevesto. Yeah, that's what we spray, organic Prevesto and water. I'm not sure like how much, because Dad does all of that.
Wait, the dust! I hate a dusty tractor. Wait for the dust to settle to open the door. Otherwise, the whole dang tractor's gonna get dusty.
A bunch of baby wipes.
What, for my neck? I thought you were talking for the tractor.
No, for you. You look like you got some kind of a disease.
Disgusting, rubbing this all over my neck.
Not as disgusting as it is having that stuff on your neck. Back.
Go up.
Turn. Did you stand in the cover crop?
No, not
You're
yet.
supposed to. I was thinking we could both stand in it so we can show them like the difference, you know? Because I don't know how much it's going to cover me.
Your neck is gonna get red now. This is all crap from the... This is all stuff from... I was fixing this mower earlier.
Who are you talking
I was fixing this mower earlier because the wheel wouldn't turn.
Clean your arms.
That's good. That's fine. And they're doing a decent job. This is our Rhino mower that we got 2 years ago, because our old flail, we had a flail mower, and I wasn't down here. My sister. I talked about this before. I don't know if this part or this new part's gonna go in. So I'm like repeating myself. My sister was mowing, and I wasn't here for some reason. I don't know what I was doing. This is 2 years ago. And apparently it just like wouldn't move. It wouldn't spin. And Dad said, "Oh, it's broken. Not worth fixing." So we put it in a corner out of the way, and we bought this. And those flails are expensive. They're like 12, 13, 15 for a new one, 12 grand. So we just bought this. Dad just said it's not worth fixing, so we just put it in the corner and just let it sit for 2 years. But then, because I wasn't there, I started questioning what was actually wrong with it, and Dad couldn't really tell me. He just said oh yeah, something big, not worth fixing. So then I was like, you know, I bet, because we had a freezer that didn't work, and we had it sitting for about a year, and then I plugged it back in and it worked, and it's been working ever since. So I was thinking, you know, maybe it'll do the same with this flail. So I hooked it up. Everything worked beautifully. I mowed 4 rows with it perfectly, and those blades was about as dull as your finger, and it was still mowing beautifully. Then after those 4 rows, then the bearing got shot, it wouldn't turn. Now you can actually see the bearing is shot. The balls are like, the little bearing balls are coming out. So we got new today, later today, what is it? Later today, our mechanic's gonna come out. I'm gonna help him fix that mower. We're gonna get both bearings replaced. Like $650 a piece, those bearings. So $1,200 to get this mower fixed is not bad, especially when a new one's is like 12 grand. And it's in real good shape, paint and everything. So nothing's wrong with it besides those bearings. So we're gonna get those fixed. We're gonna change out all the blades. So it's 88 of them, I think. I think there was 88 from forums I was on. But we're gonna get those bearings replaced. I'm gonna help him. Those bearings weigh like 40 pounds maybe. $650 a piece, so they're huge. That is so nice because it's with the tractor and it's short, so you don't have to take like 5 different turns, because this is like 10 foot long maybe, and then with the length of the tractor, this would be impossible without super steer. So to mow with this mower, I mean, it's doing a decent job, but a flail would just be obliterating this stuff. Like,
Wow!
it's taller than the trellis. See that?
I've never done this.
Well, now you're just stomping all over it.
How tall it is.
So if you guys are enjoying the video thus far, if you can give it a thumbs up, muchly appreciated. It helps push our videos out to more people. It pushes them out in the algorithm more. So for any of you guys who are new, we are not British or anything. She just likes to talk in a British accent. And I am currently right now spraying again for codling moth and different types of bugs like aphids and all the other bugs. And what I'm spraying for that keeps the Spray Rex in here. So what I'm spraying right now is Sea Light, Sidetrack, Entrust, ProBlad, and Incinerate. That's what I'm spraying right now. The Sea Light is for codling moth. The Sidetrack is for codling moth. The Entrust is for codling moth. The ProBlad is for powdery mildew. Like if the ends of your apple, like leaves, kind of have like a powdery mildew, that's what the ProBlad's for. And then I'm spraying Incinerate is for the aphids. So that's what I'm spraying right now. I'm going to spray this in all of our organic apple varieties.
And it's so tall that if you wait too long, it will kind of fall over, especially with water, when we water the grapes. The water's heavy, so it'll like go on there and it'll fall over. See, like kind of right here? It'll fall into the grape row, and my tire will come and run it over. And then it'll kind of lay into that grape row, and it won't mow it. It'll kind of lay it over once the tire hits it, and the mower won't mow it. See, like right there? I don't know if you can see that. And the mower won't mow it, so that's kind of a problem, but not really, because these are non-organic, so the spray would just kill it anyways. But everywhere. You know, it'd probably be cheaper if you keep your fleet new instead of having to dump $16,000 into like the old Super Steer in the last 3 years. And you drive newer tractors. So we might be exchanging one of our older tractors for a new tractor. This stuff will bloom and have pollen on it, like a lot of stuff. And that's why we have to, why the old Super Steer would particularly overheat very quickly, because even not mowing it would overheat. But you see all the pollen here, let me straighten you out. All this pollen and dirt and stuff will get clogged up in the radiator. But the nice thing about these tractors, these new ones, mowing with these ones, is because they're sealed. Because they're new, that like they don't have very many, like, see, they have the vents, and then like everything else is sealed up, you know? You know what I'm saying? Where the old Super Steer, there's like a whole bunch of, like, you know, it's not like completely sealed up like this one, where pretty much this is the only air intake on these vents. So this radiator will definitely still get pollen in it and stuff, but it will stay way cleaner than the other Super Steer. But we're still gonna blow it out every time we're done with it. Even though it's not overheating, you need to keep a clean radiator, of course, but yeah. I thought that looked pretty cool. I mean, you've already seen me mow a lot, but I thought that looked pretty cool, so I just kind of picked up the camera to show you. Yeah, anyways, that looks pretty cool. At least it looks pretty cool in person.
So what the Sea Light does, Sea Light is diatomaceous earth, which is ground up seashells. It's a powder, and so when we spray it on the apple trees, mixed in with all the other sprays, it is like, when we spray it on the apple trees and it dries, it is like sharp edges for the bugs. So when the bug lands, it will like get cut. So it's an annoyance for the bugs to keep them off the apple trees. That's what that does. It'll sometimes kill the bugs, not always. It's more of an annoyance for the bugs not to land on the trees. They're like walking on knives. So that's what the Sea Light does. For all of you out there wondering what we are spraying in our apples, this is all organic. Your organic apples, we spray organic spray.
I mean, I love it when everything is nice and mowed and just literally beautiful. It's so nice and clean and everything. I just love it. Okay, hopefully this works. Look at that fresh pull. Look at that. I'm going to drag this up the row and go drag it up to Dad. He's doing some water. But wow, I have to come back through and collect all these suckers off to another tree as well, but I did not think that would, it was like nice and wet and fresh dirt, so that just pulled out really easy. We have conventional and organic grapes. So with the conventionals, that means we can spray the weeds, but with the organics, we cannot use spray to keep the weeds out of the vineyard. So what we use is what is called a duck footer. So this is what it is. So this is the implement that we use. And it is hooked up to our open cab New Holland. So this is the part that digs into the vine row. And then these kind of like kick the weeds over. You'll see. I don't know, but it needs mowed. But the duck footer works in this vine row because we cannot spray this vine row. So when we are duck footing, we are getting, because we can mow this, that's not a problem. It's this right here that the duck footer works on. So, but anyway, why we have those pipes is because during the summer, the leaves are all on the grapevines, spiders will string their web across the row and worst case possible, the spider is like dead center in the web and like headed straight for your face if you're going down the row. So we have those pipes up so that the spider catches on the pipes and not up there right for your face. But why it's called a duck footer is because it's supposed to look like duck's feet. The silver part is supposed to look like duck's feet. That's the only reason why it's called a duck footer. So there was no ducks, there were no ducks harmed in the making of this video. That was funnier in my head. So with this open cab tractor, we usually have like a canopy. We have a canopy that goes on top of this that goes off and on, and Mom is wanting us to put it back on, but I really don't want it on. I'll explain that in another video. But there is a canopy, but hopefully I can have it kept off for as long as possible. But there's a lot that I can explain about this duck footer, but you'll have to stay tuned if you want to hear the rest of it, because I could talk about this duck footer all spring and summer long, so there's no point in saying everything in one video. I'd say that I am the one that is like running this duck footer all summer. That's a whole nother explanation too. So there is a lot more that I could talk about the duck footer. Some problems that we've had with it, why Dad doesn't really like it, and what he thinks it might be doing to our crop and different things. But that will be in a later video. We just wanted to show you guys what the duck footer is, and I guess you're gonna have to wait to see the flamer. But yeah, that's the duck footer. So the brush puller tractor that I brush pull in, you guys have seen it, it's the New Holland TN95FA. We're gonna clean it out now, so all of you guys who have been waiting to see the tractor clean, today's the time has come. This is only so dirty because it's the brush puller tractor, and any of you who have been watching our stuff for a long time know that it's dusty when we brush pull. Alright. Should we like do sections? So this is your tractor. Can we switch sides? No. You don't have a bad side. We're gonna answer some comments. And where's the brush? So one of the comments was, how long after we plant the grapes can we pick them? So we put them in the ground this year, and then we're gonna let them grow for a little bit. We're gonna let them grow for a year, and then we're gonna train them up next year, and then we can pick them in 2027. You guys know some of these questions, those who have been following us for a long time, but we constantly have new viewers all the time. And so there was some that had asked, like, if we own the farm and where our parents are. So we don't own the farm, Mom and Dad own the farm. And the reason they aren't, they work on the farm. They're just like not in the videos because they don't want to be. When we started the YouTube, they said this was more of our thing, and the people would want to watch the younger ones.
This never gets clean.
Yeah.
Like, this is forever dirty. Where's that line rig?
Do it yourself.
Where's the other rig? It's right there. Do like all this black crap.
We work with Mom and Dad, with and for Mom and Dad, and we don't own the farm. But
I'm making this turn into mud. Rinse it.
you should see the water now, it's black. So we do get paid to work for Mom and Dad. What'd you do?
Get it wet. Get the other one wet too.
How come the bucket's on my side? Me, father, sons,
Moving and grooving.
So this is a work in progress, but this is what it's looking like right now. So in our last video, we had asked you guys to comment how long you guys have been watching our videos, and you guys had a great response. A lot of you commented that
You were with us from the beginning.
it was super cool reading all your guys' comments of how long you guys have been watching. It's a lot longer than we thought you guys were. So thank you. It's cool to see that a lot of you have been with us for a very long time.
And it's good to hear that the mics are sounding better.
So it is the second week in May, and these are what our apples are looking like. These are our Cosmic Crisp.
So the little apples like this is what you would call the fruit set or the young fruit stage. This stage follows the blooming period after the flower has been pollinated and the apples now develop into young fruit.
And if we come over here, this is what our juice grapes are looking like. There, that is the bunch of the juice grapes.
Thank you all for watching today's video. We hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you all in the next one.
Watch, I'll move you with my phone. Cool. Haha.
Go, cop, go. I'm so sure we didn't. Why am I walking backwards? Sorry.
It still didn't answer my question.
He was going to take the cycle down now to reach you.
Right down.
They'll line up with us.
So then it forward.
Doing your day.
I do believe I said everything.
Sure to fix you that quick, man.
I'm not you, and it doesn't take me a half hour to explain what I'm doing.
You are not allowed to say that anymore. If you do not remember your video we had took a week to edit.
Why are you making me look like a giant? Look at you sweating. Yeah. You're standing on a hill. It was a whole 2 hours going through the stuff of just you.
I know.
What?
What's different, Dave?
Okay, I'm gonna go on this side.
Cool. Just started that from my phone.
Wait, I pointed too much at the camera.
Does it, Becky?
This camera's like dead. I think it is dead.
Oh. What'd I do?
We liked.
The camera just died. Camera's dead.